Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I have the great honor to be speaking right now to the one and only the director of the latest viral film that is driving everyone crazy, including on the right and on the left, Mr. Uwe Boll. Welcome to my
Hello.
show. It's an honor to have you here.
No, I'm happy to be there. Absolutely.
I want to jump right in and start talking about this new film that just came out that is driving everyone crazy. Germany tried to cancel it, and that film just went extremely viral, especially after, at least from what I've seen, Elon Musk shared it on his own X. Can you tell us about how did this happen from trying to cancel your video to becoming, I think, number 2 or 3 right now in the US streamed live? Everybody's trying to watch it. Celebrities are sharing it. How did that happen?
I mean, the streaming from Elon Musk happened after there was already a lot of press about it. And it was on Apple and Amazon. It's still on Apple and Amazon and Fandango, whatever. And of course, the streaming had an end on X at one point because kind of a free streaming, we need also money back for a movie. So, but I think it was a
Yeah.
great kind of marketing point because it made it even bigger. And it was a reaction from him against the censorship in Germany. Like where they basically twice refused to give me a rating. So in Germany, we cannot put it up on Apple, Amazon, everywhere in the movie theaters on DVD. That's very hard for me as a German to see. I'm not surprised when you look into the German policies that this is going this way. And
Mhm.
I know when I was doing the movie, of writing the movie, I felt already I will hit a nerve because they are all so political correct in the movie industry that they will not have the balls ever make a movie what shows like Islamistic migration into Europe as a threat. They just don't want to make movies like this. They want to
Mhm.
show the positive sides of migration. And I mean, look, we're all living in countries where 30, 40, 50, 60 different like nations living. And then so I'm not against migration and say in Germany can only be German. So that's never my goal. Uh, but we definitely see since 7, 8, 9 years that there are more real Sharia law hardliners coming in and that they take over England, for example. And I don't want that for Germany.
I don't want that either. I'm
Yeah.
an Israeli. I live here in Germany. I'm an Arab. I used to be in the special forces and I served behind lines with the Sharia law people. And what I've heard there in their terrorist hubs is what I'm hearing right now in Germany and many of the food shops that they have here because I hear the Arabic. So I'm full on happy that you did what you did. Now, I want to ask you a question. Did you reach to Elon Musk or did it come as a surprise? Did you reach to Elon Musk or did it come as a surprise?
Not a total surprise. I
Wow.
think I think he saw the trailer or he saw the chatter and whatever. He didn't call me and talk to me. It was a very quick kind of direct message contact, where you then think, okay, if we not do this, we maybe will lose a huge opportunity also for support on the long run. Maybe on the short run, you lose a few views, paid views, right? But on the long run, you have this kind of almost movement, what that movie now um, did. So I cannot answer all the emails I'm getting or all the messages on social media. So it's better to do a podcast and just say things, and people should watch it on wherever YouTube and X and so on. But let's say I'm overwhelmed by the positive feedback. Also, 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, my movies normally have 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. And that's very positive. I'm very happy about this response.
That's amazing. People are already talking about they want to see Citizen Vigilante too. Maybe if you talk to Elon Musk, he can help with that. But are you thinking of making a sequel for that, or that's already too early to ask?
I mean, I of course would think it's a good idea to bring Army Hammer as Sanders back into America, right? I mean, he's stranded in Croatia, so let's do the second part. He's coming home in a way, and that would totally work. Um, Yeah,
That's
but I mean, of
interesting.
course, now we have to try to make Citizen One a bigger success, and I'm totally open for proposals. I mean, I cannot pay always my movies all alone, right? So that's the thing. It's like you have to raise a lot of money, and then you have a lot of stress and responsibility to recoup the money. It's always better you have people they help you too on the promotion side, but also on the financing side.
So here we go. Call to action. Elon Musk, if you're watching this, please reach out. I want to ask you a question about the choice of making the main actor an American and not a European. What was the reason behind that?
uh, Two, right? One is if you have American movie stars, more people will watch the movie. They will accept the movie more as real entertainment. The second, Army Hammer was, I think, unjustified cancelled. And I also wanted to bring him back as an actor. I watched him at Bill Mayer in the Club Random podcast, and I felt like, because before that podcast, I didn't really look deep into the accusations and the scandal. And I felt after watching this, he's canceled without real reason. Yeah, he was unfaithful, whatever, but I mean, sorry, you cannot give a 35 years old, at that point he was 35, big star, no more job forever based on he cheated on his wife, ruined his marriage, had drugs and alcohol. There was no lawsuit, there was no prosecution, so he didn't did a crime. So, and he was a great guy, super actor. No attitude. He was on set, super prepared, and that counts for me.
That's a very interesting approach to bring such a controversial movie that you know is going to be canceled and to pick the one star that right now everybody's trying to cancel and put it there. And despite all these odds against you, getting up this movie to become one of the biggest ones right now. And I want to ask another question that I know the critics are probably thinking about. People are afraid that the Citizen Vigilante is going to encourage violence towards migration. And that's kind of the excuse, I think, that they're saying that this movie will end up encouraging violence against migration in Europe. What would be your answer to that question or that claim?
No, I mean, I don't think that movies in general, or also not video games, make you getting violent. You have to get violent, you need real big reasons, personal revenge, or you lost all your money and you want revenge, something like this, or you're traumatized, you're taking medication, you're depressed,
Or religious reasons, yeah.
or you're super religious in a crazy way. So, and I feel what indirectly that movie should do, that's also the reason this banning is totally wrong, is in a way it's also shocking to watch the movie and you feel like, I hope we don't need a guy like this. I hope we should like we have to clear this kind of like threat through this kind of migration. We have to clear it with law enforcement, with and also with clearer removal of people who are criminals. Like the
Hmm.
thing in Germany is, let's say you have a guy with a knife running through the inner city. Even let's say he doesn't kill somebody, but the fact that he is already running around with a knife in the inner city, I think, is enough reason to remove that person out of Germany if he's like a asylum seeker or waiting for an asylum decision. We have to be stricter and faster, and we cannot have everybody like, okay, now we need a psychological evaluation, and now we need this and this and this, and 4 years later that guy is still there. And then maybe he runs amok for real and kills people with a knife. So, and that's for me the wrong approach. The approach is to make the citizens of a country safer.
Yeah,
And
I
yeah,
couldn't agree more.
going in that security risk. I mean, go in Germany, Frankfurt, here where I live. You go to the railway station, you think you're in a bazaar. Between red light district, gangs, drugs. It's crazy.
Syria and Afghanistan. That's how it feels to me when I go there. Looking at this movie right now and seeing how realistic it portrayed some of these cases, was there any real life story that inspired you to make that movie, or you based something on things that actually happened?
I mean, it was this Hamburg. Volkspark case, in the park, in the Stadtpark, where this girl got raped and that 9 perpetrators, they got basically off the hook. They got like because some were under 18, so they got only youth prison for a year. Others got probation, but basically, you can say a year after the case, nobody was in jail of these people anymore. And then the judge said, "Yeah, they are also kind of victims, the rapists." So the
They
judge,
are victims.
yes, and that's the thing, and that cut it for me. Then I got so mad that I started writing Citizen Vigilante, and then some journalists supported the judge, and they said nobody is helped if these guys go to jail. Not about, who would be helped? The raped girl, right? So I mean, that's this kind of perpetrator turns into a victim, and real victim, nobody gives a shit about it anymore. And I felt also, think about it, they were all in Hamburg. So now they don't go to prison. This is all like lower social class too, right? So they are not moving away. Like the victim's family is not able to move away. They have their jobs there. So she's now back in the same neighborhood where like the 8 guys from Afghanistan, Syria, Somalia, where they live, and could do it again, basically, right? I mean, they would be very stupid to do it. But on the other hand, you feel like you cannot do this to victims. At least they should remove them out of Germany, all of them. But not like, okay, now we process your asylum, or what we I mean, it's almost a satire. It's like here my movie poster where I have the shirt on today. It made fun out of the September 11 pilots, like, talking about how many virgins are getting in when they fly into the World Trade Center and killing thousands of people. There was a hard joke I did in the movie, but I think it was necessary to show the craziness of that thinking, that the life of other people who doesn't believe what you believe are worthless. You can kill them and you get even a benefit from it, or a gift or whatever. Yeah, virgins. So you feel like it's almost a satire.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I don't have so much time, but of course it's also kind of a reaction when all this Harvard and all these students turned free Gaza. This insanity of, within a month, the victims of this massacre didn't count it anymore. Like 9/11, it's Israel. You do a genocide, and basically giving full support, like the woke left LGBTQ society, in full support to the people who would kill them if they would rule the world, right?
Yeah.
And that was for me like another thing what happened parallel, of course, where you feel like, okay, we are not in a fact-driven world anymore. We just have people, they read the wrong tweet and then they're getting fanatic about basically everything, but they also lose track. They take everything for granted and turning into like social warriors of total bullshit.
Oh yeah.
That's the world we're living in.
That's crazy. As someone who came from that world and I saw the dialogues that the guy had there with the family, you nailed it. You nailed it. I said, that guy understands the culture of both sides, which brings me to the last question, because I know your time is very valuable right now and you're very busy. So thank you so much. Do you believe that the backlash about this violence in this film is because it portrays crime in a very shocking way, or because there's a political reason behind it of banning this video and not letting it be aired in Germany?
Yeah, it's only political. And I have a third screening with the rating system where I'm allowed to come myself and to tell the jury, guys, if you don't let that movie be shown to adult people, like over 18 people in Germany, then you are fascists. That is what they are. Then they're fascists,
Wow.
right? Because look, if I would had 6 neo-Nazis, blonde German guys, raping a 15 years old Afghanistan girl, you know, I would be already in the movie theaters with that.
Oh, you'll get an Oscar for that.
Exactly. And that's the thing where you have to set where you have to draw the line and say, look, guys, that movie, the violence level of that movie is similar to John Wick, Equalizer. It's not more violent as these movies. And
Men on Fire.
Yes, you know, I mean, we have thousands of vigilante movies in history. And that's a poor political decision where they say, we make sure nobody can watch that in Germany because we don't want that let's say, German people who are watching only ARD and ZDF, this kind of public TV, that they're not getting aware of this kind of amount of crime we're facing. And a lot of people live in Germany, in whatever little city, they're sophisticated people, and they have no clue what's going on in the big cities, on the railway stations, in the swimming pools in Germany. This stuff, they ignore it. They don't read the newspaper, they don't watch podcasts, they have no clue. And this rating system, they know that, and they don't want that a movie with some bigger exposure is kind of exploding in their face. You know, that's the only reason. And I hope they come to their senses and give us an 18 rating, and we can finally show it in Germany.
I hope so too. I love freedom, and I hope so too. I think the censorship is very silly. Last question is here: is if anyone want to watch your video right now, where can they find it? And I'm not talking the free streams. Also, people who want to support the work, as like we said, right now you're basically not making money of this movie, but you're getting it viral because they're trying to silence it. So if anyone want to help support your cause and also watch that movie in a way that will generate money for the cast, for the director, for everyone involved in this art, where can they find it?
Yeah, I mean, in US and Canada, it's already out, and you can see it on Apple, Amazon, and so on. In Europe, is it in the prep getting out? I will send you here in the chat a link to an Austrian company, because in Austria the movie is allowed, where at least people can order DVDs, Blu-rays, right? So that's a link. If you put it under the video. And unfortunately, I don't think it's a DVD. It's only Blu-ray.
Where did you send me the chat?
In the studio chat, private chat.
In the private
chat.
I can
also email it to you. I email it to you too. And there, you at least there the people can order this. You know, so but of course we're also working on like a German dubbing in the expectation that we can release this. You know, that finally people can watch the film.
All right, so guys, it's right here. You see GameWare@info, that space Citizen Vigilante. I'm leaving it here. Anyone who want to watch this video and also support this cause is more than welcome to go and do it over there. Mr. Uwe, thank you so much. I mean, last time we talked was more than a year ago. I had no idea that I'm going to see your face coming again all of a sudden, all around the world with this brilliant movie that is speaking very much truth. Thank you for the work that you're doing, and I hope that it gets free.
I want to post a photo from us talking. So, very good. Thank you.
What a legend. Send me that photo.
Yeah, and send me the link too, right? Absolutely.
I will definitely. What a legend. Thank you so much, Mr. Uwe. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.